Welcome to the Thursday, December 5th edition of the Day Weather Podcast. We have a small storm system that's going to track right between I-70 and I-80 across Colorado and southern Wyoming today. Overnight and early this morning, snow has developed right along I-80 from Salt Lake to Evanston to Rollins and through Rock Springs and over to Laramie, and will expand into Cheyenne through the morning hours. We're also seeing some snow and rain showers get into some front range areas of Colorado this morning, and Colorado's mountain areas, Colorado ski areas will all get a nice little shot of snow. What's nice about this little storm system is it's going to give us a straight down snow with not a lot of wind with it. How often does that happen? Well, not often, but when it does, it's always nice, and it makes the snow a bit more manageable. Nonetheless, anybody traveling across southern Wyoming or northern or central Colorado today, be ready for a little bit of the white stuff. The system will move to the east, and then we're going to basically have cool, dry, sometimes breezy, but quiet weather for Friday, for Saturday. Those 2 days, very little going on. Now, Sunday, we're going to start to see a cold front push in from western Canada, move south towards Montana during the day Saturday and the Saturday night. Also, there's going to be a small little weather system coming off the Pacific Northwest coast. Those two systems are going to team up and come through the region late Sunday into Monday. This will bring snow to the mountains, and it will bring colder temperatures to the Plain States and the Rockies, along with a little bit of light snow and snow shower activity. It does not look like it'll be a major system, just a little bit of mountain snow and some colder temperatures in the plains with a little bit of light snow and snow shower activity. However, that little system, as it goes east, is going to draw down some really cold air into the upper Plain States, the Midwest, and the Great Lakes. You'll hear about it on the news next week. A real big shot of very cold air will go into the nation's midsection, staying just east of us. So we do start off next week colder, but the severe cold stays to our east. Those areas of the country, the upper Midwest, the Great Lakes, the Corn Belt, then eventually into the Northeast United States, will feel a wrath of winter weather and some really cold air. As we get into the system behind that one, well, we'll have to see what develops. I'll tell you that the computer models that we look at, and we look at a lot of them. We look at computer models that the National Weather Service produces, the Canadian Weather Service, the European Center computer models. There's a lot. We probably look at 6, 7 different ones that come from all over the world that try to forecast the weather in the long term. And there is a lot of confusion in the modeling today. Now, the models are just the models. They're make-believe, but they are the tools that help us try to figure out how the weather patterns may behave. And what we're seeing today in the confusion of the weather models in the long term is a sign that there's some bigger changes taking place affecting those models. And a lot of times when we see that, that usually means large hemispheric changes are coming. We talked about stratospheric warming. We're seeing some of that with the cold wave that's going to hit the Midwest next week, where the atmosphere in the stratosphere expands near the North Pole. And as that stratospheric layer expands, it pushes the colder air off the poles to the lower latitudes. We see that happening next week, but we also see the models trying to develop one towards the middle to the end of December. And I think that's why we've got a lot of confusion in the long term. So what I'm telling you is that we've got next week's weather pretty well in hand. It's going to get colder in the Midwest, the Great Lakes, stormy and cold. The Rockies and the high plains will basically have just typical December weather, a little bit of snow in the mountains, some snow showers in the plains, some chilly temperatures, but nothing too dramatic. But after that week of the 16th and the Christmas week and the New Year's week, we're still watching, as there could be some bigger changes to colder, stormy weather. But the computer models today are all over the place. Some of them predict stormy weather between the 16th and the New Year's. Some don't. But we'll see what happens, because they'll tend to flip-flop, go back and forth. But when we see a lot of confusion in the long-term weather models, that indicates there's something going on that will take several days for the models to get a better handle on. In the meantime, be ready for a little bit of snow today. Southern Wyoming and parts of Colorado. Fair, dry weather for most areas, although a bit breezy Friday, Saturday into early Sunday. Then late Sunday into Monday, a little bit of winter comes back into the region. Have yourself a great Thursday. We'll talk to you on Friday.